Hello, it's the Jimmy Jam Oracle, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a Amberlynn read, tarot card read. Okay, so a lot of tea has been spilt in the last 24 hours. So we do a series of 3-card reads just to get a lot of questions answered, hopefully by the spirits. And remember, we welcome the spirits just like I welcome you. Shuffling right now. Remember, we're focusing our energy on Amber. And why not Aunt Tammy as well? We're going to ask the spirits the first question. Oh, I have a jumper. So I didn't even get to a question. I already got a jumper. Let's go ahead. Get the jumper. That is the Queen of Pentacles. I believe the Queen of Pentacles is about comfort. Like creature comforts. And she is also practical and financially secure. Could this be Aunt Tammy? Not sure, but let's set her aside in case she becomes more relevant. Ooh, she's right there. Maybe the spirits are confirming Aunt Tammy's energy is here. All right, so let's get started. All right, first question. Sorry, I got distracted by the card. Spirits, what's the energy between Amberlynn and Aunt Tammy? Even though I feel like we got a gist of the energy, maybe the spirits have something more to say about it. Uh-oh. This is one more good shuffle. All right, let's go. What do we have? We have the Fool. It's reversed. We have the Ten of Cups, also reversed. And we have the Hierophant. All right, so let's go to the Fool. Sometimes we get the Fool for Girl World. Reversed, it says recklessness, taken advantage of, and inconsideration. This is something that Tammy has accused Amber of, the being taken advantage of, her Amber being inconsiderate. Even the recklessness, she thinks Amber is reckless. If not, you know, with her love life, then emotionally she's reckless. Like trying to blackmail her Aunt Tammy, which that was pretty dirty. But let's move on to the Ten of Cups. And it is reversed. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking through the guide. It is shattered dreams, broken family, and domestic disharmony. Definitely relevant here. So the spirits are confirming that they are not getting along, that this is a broken family. There's disharmony. Which, yeah, obviously. But like I said, sometimes we ask obvious questions just to see, you know, if the spirits are with us. So let's move on to the Hierophant. I believe it is it's typically a religious card. What's its number? Number 5. Okay, so it's pretty up here. Okay. So it says authority, structure, control. It also talks about fatherhood. In this case, I don't think that has much to do with it. Or, you know, maybe it's symbolizing of like parenthood versus like fatherhood. But because the card is masculine, that could be why the meaning tends to be more, you know, like fatherhood versus like motherhood. But it does talk about structure. And that's something, again, like Tammy has acclaimed, that she pretty much has been the backbone of the family, like taking care of the family, being the secure, like, foundation. Like, she was the one that Amber's mom turned to. Even the one that Amber turned to at one point. Basically, I think this card is just saying, like, she has just been this solid foundation for Amber, or even, like, maybe for Amber's mom. Again, I think maybe the Queen of Pentacles could be Tammy. But let's continue. Let's put these aside as they may become relevant later. I might reference them. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question. All right, spirits, can Tammy and Amber's relationship be mended? Like, can they fix what's going on? Or is this broken family, this disharmony permanent. And good shuffle. Keep our energy right on them. What do we have? We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Swords. And the Hermit. It's upside down. If you guys know, my favorite card is the Hermit. So we have the Three of Pentacles. Let's go ahead here. It says teamwork, collaboration, and building. This could be in the past position, perhaps. The first card is typically the past position, but I'm not sure about in this case. The teamwork, the collaboration, and building. Maybe it was. It could be like a wish, like Tammy had, for them to be able to come together, to be able to like just create this family. And it's kind of funny that the number 3 comes up. I think 3 is Amber's family's like lucky number. And for reason when I think of the number 3, I'm thinking of like Tammy, Amber, and Mama Lynn. So let's move on to the Nine of Swords. Let's see. Okay, so it is upright, and it says anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. So I think this is something that divides them. The trauma, even like the hopelessness of the situation. Like they definitely they're not feeling good right now. You know what I mean? Like they do not feel good about each other or about the situation. And like I said, I think the word trauma comes up. I think of something that's like keeping them apart. So like the trauma of, Mama Lynn's past alone divided her and Amber and her sister and her mother. Like it's a very awful thing, drug addiction. It keeps you away from your loved ones, and they want to keep away from you. But let's move on to the Hermit, who is reversed. Here we go. It says loneliness, isolation, and lost your way. Okay, so as spirits are confirming that, again, we have like helplessness in the Nine of Swords, and that's accompanied by loneliness and isolation. And it's talking about losing your way. So I think the spirits are saying that they feel like, the situation's hopeless, and it's going to keep them separated, which is sad. Because it's just, we started on a positive note with the Three of Pentacles, like the togetherness, and then we end with loneliness. Okay, let's put these aside. Let's move on. All right, spirits. What is the outcome of this? Like, is this over? Has Tammy said what she's going to say? Or will Tammy be back? What can we expect from this? Remember, we keep our energy right on Aunt Tammy and Amber and their relationship, their energy. All right, let's flip. Oh, that's the wish card, the Nine of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. And then we have the Ten of Swords. All right. So, like I said, the Nine of Cups is the wish card, or like wish fulfillment. So, like, it could be interpreted as Aunt Tammy saying what she wanted to say is, that's a wish fulfillment for her. Like, just being able to let it out. That's the only thing I can think of for that, just because, let's see. It also says satisfaction, emotional stability, and luxury. For the meaning of the card. The satisfaction, I think, definitely. Like, again, that goes into, like, wish fulfillment. Even, like, emotional stability. Like, maybe she just feels better getting it all out in the open. Let's move on to the Two of Cups, which is reversed. As talking about imbalance, broken communication, and tension. Okay, so if I'm asking for, like, the result of, like, what's happening, or, at the very least, what will continue to happen. Again, we talk about broken family, and now we're talking about broken communication. We're talking about tension. This is, again, like, pretty obvious. Like, if the spirits say, yeah, Aunt Tammy and Amber are not going to reconcile, then definitely there'll be like broken communication. There'll definitely be that imbalance in their family, the tension. So we move on to the Ten of Swords, which looks it looks bleak because it tends to be. So the Ten of Swords is failure, collapse, and defeat. Oh, so somebody fails. There's a defeat. So defeat implies there's a winner. So someone comes out on top. Now, is it the Queen of Pentacles, which we first drew? Who comes out on top? Why speculate when we can ask? Sit this one up in the corner. Let's ask the spirits, what can you tell us about this Ten of Swords? Talks about defeat, but who is the winner? Who comes out on top? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to shuffle more. I just go into, oh, I have a jumper. Well, let's read the jumper real quick. We have a Page of Cups. Let's look that up real quick because I'm not familiar with the Page of Cups. Here we go. It says happy surprise, dreamer, and sensitivity. Oh, it's funny that it says dreamer. The reason it's funny it says dreamer because like sometimes when I do a pull for Amberlynn, the moon comes up and the moon is illusion and the illusion is dreams. And I think I pulled this card last time for her as well. I'm not sure. It was either her or Foodie. But yeah, like I'm getting strong like Amber vibes from this just because of the word dreamer. But let's put this aside. Again, maybe it'll come relevant when I do my 3-card pull. And again, we're asking the spirits who is coming out on top. Who is the winner in this situation? We have the 5 of Cups. Lots of cups today. The 2 of Rods. And we have Judgment, but Judgment is reversed. But let's start with the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups is loss, grief, and self-pity. Self-pity, you say. Again, like, I think maybe that's a pull towards Amber. But in the figure in the picture, the reason it says self-pity is because the figure is looking at what's been lost, and they're completely ignoring what they still have, the 2 cups behind them. So, like, that, I feel like that's very Amber coded. Like, she does tend to sit in self-pity, and she tends to ignore, like, the good in her life and focus on the negative. But let's move on to the 2 of Rods. It is reversed. And it is fear of change, playing safe, and bad planning. Fear of change is also another big Gore world meaning that I get. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 2 of Rods. The reversed death, I believe, is also like fear of change or like resistance to change. I get that too. But yeah, definitely like the fear of change and playing it safe. Big girl world energy. Like they definitely do not like it when things change. Is why everyone's like, well, they're doing the same crap, over and over again, because that's what they want to do. That's how they feel safe. We move on to Judgment, who is reversed. Here we go. It says lack of self-awareness, doubt, and self-loathing. Lack of self-awareness. That's something Amber gets accused of all the time. So it seems like somehow in this situation, Amber comes out on top. Like, I don't know if she's going to come out with receipts or if she's just going to have pretty much just explain away everything Aunt Tammy said. But Aunt Tammy in this situation is definitely going to feel defeat. Even though I think some people think Aunt Tammy, totally put, Amber in her place last night. I don't think so. I'll be honest with you, I think Aunt Tammy came off a little bit unhinged. But considering what she's been through, like, with the family, if, like, an ounce of it is true, which it probably, I don't really see why she would lie about that kind of stuff. Like, I can understand why she would be frustrated and like yelling on camera. Well, over the phone on camera to Jordy. Poor Jordy. All right, so we're gonna do one more draw, and it's from my Oracle deck. It's like a supporter pack for the tarot cards. It's the What's the Tea? So we're gonna ask the spirits, what's the tea in regard to Amber and Aunt Tammy? I really do think poor Aunt Tammy. It's just not. Oh, I have a jumper. Oh, this one's rude. It says uninterested. So maybe people will lose interest, or maybe Aunt Tammy will just become uninterested, or maybe even Amber will just start to ignore, will ignore Amber. Because you see, like, well, even like the picture shows like a figure walking away. Like, and you see the distance between them. Like, that definitely could be what this card is indicating. Not so much a disinterest, maybe a disinterest in the relation, you know, upholding the relationship. I think when my candles went out. Yep, it sure did. Suddenly saw smoke on the other side of my camera. Alright. Alright. Let's get one more good shuffle. Alright. So what do we have? We have hooked. People they're hooked in the drama. Cyberbully. You're being bullied online, or they has suffered from it. Okay. Either I read that wrong or the grammar is wrong. I'm not going to dive deep into it. Then we have screenshots. Getting evidence, proof, and facts. This might be how Amber wins her, you know, this situation. How she comes out on top. She might have evidence. And then we have cyberbully. Like, maybe that's Aunt Tammy, or at the very least, that's probably how Amber is going to, like, pull this. Like, you know, Tammy is just being a bully. And then here we are, you know, with receipts. There's going to be receipts. And people are going to be hooked. Thank you, spirits. Thank you for your time and your energy. And I appreciate it. And just like we thank the spirits, I thank you for joining me today. And I hope you have a great day.